Hi everyone out there, welcome to the Whiskey Anonymous podcast. This is Frank. Once again we have Leonard and we have special guest
Hamish Torrie.
He's great. He came here all the way from Scotland, so it's definitely a pleasure to have you. Also, local special guest.
My name's Sean Sam.
I'm Raj.
And
I'm Chewy. Welcome.
So right now we are on our Ardbeg lineup. We're on number 2 of 4 Ardbeg whiskeys we're tasting. This current whiskey is the, there we go, we gotta make sure we say this right. It's the Ardbeg Uigeadail.
Well done.
I try. I had to practice it a few times.
You passed the Ardbeg School of Learning.
Yes, yes. So, could you tell us a little bit about this?
Yeah, certainly. If I don't want to go back to the beginning, but I will. If you begin at the beginning, as Dylan Thomas, the famous player, once said.
Oh yes.
If you begin at the beginning, then back in '97 when we bought the distillery, we didn't have much old stock. Well, we had some old stock, very old stock, but that was it. And we started at Ardbeg Uigeadail in November 2003. And when we invented Uigeadail, and this is a fun story to tell you because myself and Bill Lumsden and others were at a whiskey launch in Edinburgh with a whiskey we produced in 2001 called Lord of the Isles. And this was very old, 25-year-old Ardbeg that we inherited and we vatted and produced a fantastic. It was supposed to be the supreme range, top of the range for the Ardbeg range.
Yeah.
And that eventually, by the way, ran out in 2006. At that launch in Edinburgh, we met the late Michael Jackson. And Michael Jackson was a legend in whiskey and beer, actually. He started in beer, but he was a brilliant writer on whiskey as well. And he came to our launch and he was looking at this beautiful Lord of the Isles and saying, this whiskey is beautiful, just too damned elegant for Ardbeg. I like my Ardbeg dirty and mucky,
Yeah.
So Bill and I looked at each other and said, right, okay. so we went off and we came up with Uigeadail.
Oh, nice.
And that's how Uigeadail started, right?
Yeah.
So it's not us just sitting there thinking, what are we going to do next? It was Michael Jackson's gentle suggestion that we get to the earthy core of Ardbeg. So, well done, Michael. Poor Michael died a few years ago. So, I always think it's a tribute to him. Actually, Uigeadail exists at all. But the key point about Uigeadail was to give something a little bit a different side to Ardbeg alongside the 10 years old, which we'd already just launched in 2000. And Uigeadail, when it came out in 2003, had been a big discussion between me and Bill and everybody else in the company. And we put together a lovely, sweet, but not over sherried, matured Ardbeg. We started with some very old sherry casks that we'd inherited. And that was the start. And then Uigeadail became very, very successful very quickly, so we had to start laying down lots and lots of sherry casks to keep up with demand. But fundamentally, what we decided was to balance sherry maturation with bourbon maturation, because there's a lot of whiskies out there where the cask drowns the distillery house style, the distillery character. And what we wanted to do was give a sweetness to Ardbeg, a richness, but not get rid of everything that Ardbeg stands for. That lovely, smoky, seaweedy brininess. So, yeah, not overpowering. Again, as we've said previously, balance is key. So the style of Uigeadail as it is today is very much a balance of Ardbeg matured in ex Oloroso Spanish sherry casks.
Okay.
And our normal Ardbeg, in bourbon barrels. And the percentage, I won't go into hugely, but it's roughly, it's more bourbon than sherry.
Okay.
So it's full maturation and then vatting the two together, and that creates a fantastic style. And if you have a look at it, remember that this whiskey is also non-chill filtered, so you get loads of body, plenty of legs, and the lovely mouthfeel, as one of our ads once said.
So
Darker than your usual.
Yes, darker. It's darker. It's sherry. The sherry has had an influence.
Yeah, you can smell it right
on
on
the
the
colour.
nose.
You can smell it on the nose.
Yeah,
but,
beautiful.
But you're not getting whole sherry. You're getting everything else coming in at the same time. So again, it's about knitting together things which work. And
it's 52. Was
54.2.
Yeah.
And when we were putting it together, we had this idea that if the committee member, our fan, could be in Warehouse 3 on Isla, what would he be thinking? And if you imagine walking into Warehouse 3 on Isla, lovely old Dunwich warehouse, what we wanted to do was deliver him almost that experience, but in a bottle. So we played around with the strength, and we eventually settled on 54.2. I can't remember how the 0.2 came about. But anyway, that doesn't matter. That's lost in the mist of time.
Right.
But it was almost as near as damn it a cask strength whiskey to give the full maximum on Isla experience in a bottle. And the whiskey is superb. It's very rich, very smoky, but it's got this oiliness. It's got this lovely sort of linseed, in it, and it's got this amazingly rich. Sherry cask maturation gives you a sweetness which is like sultanas and dates.
Yeah.
It's a sort of dry sweetness, and it's that dry sweetness, that richness, which goes together with the biscuity cereal elements of normal maturation that come through. And
I can't stop nosing it.
it just goes on and on. And this has won so many awards. Do you know we've got in our Ardbeg committee fan club around the world, which we've got more than 100,000 members now. They about 60% of them love. That's their favourite. This is their favourite brand.
Well, I mean, I know it's it's rated really high on Jim Murray's whiskey by I think 97.5. Yeah, it's definitely a winner. I mean, right? It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's
What is high score?
So Hamish, the warehouse number 3 is where it's for sherry matured Ardbegs.
yeah. We store lots of things in there, including sherry matured Ardbeg.
awesome.
So I have to keep my secrets a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough.
But we got lots of them. But basically, the key point about maturation is it should be long, slow, and cool.
Long, slow, and cool.
So you need a dunnage warehouse, right? A dunnage meaning earth-floored warehouse, and you don't stack the barrels too high, 2 or 3 max. That gives you the right temperature conditions for long, slow maturation. So that's where Uigeadail and 10-year-old, a lot of it's stored. But of course, we're always looking at how to expand that, because when we're actually in production terms, we're up at our highest ever. So we're continually looking at how we manage our warehouse. But the key point is that this whiskey is just so rich, so dense. It's like the traditional way of describing it would be a Christmas pudding on fire. It's got that lovely, rich, smoky, intense flavour, but it's so sweet at the same time. And if you thought of ash bonfires, if you thought of smoky bacon, it's just got everything. It's a barbecue. Barbecue. Let's have a fillet steak now.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Whack a fillet steak on the table. Ardbeg Uigeadail. Let's have a taste.
Let's have a taste, guys. I mean, obviously, because the higher ABV, you're going to get that bit of pepper.
Absolutely.
It has a wonderful backbone of sweetness in it. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's lovely sweetness. But the sweetness isn't all just sherry cask. The sweetness comes from everything else.
Yeah, because you get a vanilla sweetness in there in the back. You get a bit of cherry sweetness.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's mouth coating, isn't it?
Yeah.
The gush of the saliva.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a bit of pepper, but it's not overpowering like you would expect from many over 50+%.
wait till we get to Corrie Brecon.
Oh,
You'll find pepper.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I love that too. Actually,
you've had
personally,
that.
Ardbeg is one of my favorite, distillers out there. I've had probably over 100 now. Now that I've started drinking whiskey, this is definitely one of my favorites.
Just in case anybody doesn't know, this rather strange word, Uigeadail. Uigeadail means dark dark place or dark mysterious place, and basically it's the loch where we get the water for the distillery. So about 3 miles up in the hills, about 1,500 feet, 3 miles out, there's a lovely big dark loch, and that's where all the water for Ardbeg comes down, and it comes down to another loch called Ardbeg Based, which was also another fine whiskey we had a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then down from there into a place called Charlie's Dam, and then into the distillery. So it's like a sort of tiered water system.
Right.
Created by nature.
Makes sense. You know, I thought when you said dark and
Mysterious.
I thought you were talking about Roger. Sorry, Roger.
Just curious. So the water, it's like a true lock, but it is flowing water because locks are pretty. From what I understand, a lock would be fairly stagnant.
Fairly
stagnant.
But it's all right.
It's flow all the
Flowing
time.
water.
Flow all the time, and the water up there is getting refreshed daily by rain.
Right.
And if you walk up there, it's a fantastic place. You're up completely on your own. It's massive, well, it's a rather large lock, and you're looking at it thinking that's where all the water for Ardbeg comes. And when we've got a little custom, when you climb up there, you take a bottle of Uigeadail with you,
Yeah.
and what you do is you pour a glass and you put it back into the lock. So you're giving something back to the water.
Oh, that's kind of like in the U.S. You got I'll pour one out for my homies.
Yeah.
The fallen.
The fallen, exactly.
So that's the origin of the word Uigeadail, and it's spelled, rather curiously UIG, but it's Uigeadail.
You gotta remember that with Uigeadail, not Uigeadail, which I'm guilty of saying. Uigeadail. Dog.
Uigeadail.
Awesome. Well, you know what? I mean, this is wonderful. I mean, we could go on for ages about this whiskey. It's amazing. But unfortunately, we do have to move on to two other great whiskeys. One of them being the Corey Vrecken. Am I pronouncing that right?
Corey Vrecken. Yeah.
Corey Vrecken. And a secret surprise. You just have to wait for that part. So, guys, you know what to do. Put your thumbs up for how you think you rate it.
Ardbeg.
Yeah, and maybe a 2. This is one of my favorites. Yes. All right, guys.
Do I give it a 10?
You can. 10. Well, thank you for watching, guys, and see you in the next 2 parts.